If you are a Litecoin fan, then you probably should copy this. Unless you're a YouTuber, then don't copy it. Because origin lines come from my channel and me. So everybody else, you're okay, unless you're a YouTuber. I want to show you that even as a bearish person, I think that Litecoin has a chance to have already put in a bottom at around 40 bucks. And if that is true, then in the event, well, when it's actually statistically exceptionally probable, Bitcoin goes sub 14K. Because the origin line rules, as most of you know on my channel, they work. And the rule is Bitcoin cannot do anything more than a failure pattern above the origin line it just busted down through until it hits the next origin line down, which is 13.8. Or no, it's 12.7. If it takes a while to get there, it'll be like 13K. But either way, it's under 14K, right? So even in that event, when that happens with a high probability, Litecoin would only double bottom. Could it go lower? Sure. But I think it's roughly a 50-50 that it's bottomed. And here's why. Very simple. As long as you can appreciate that these lines work. If you are new and you're looking at this like, what is this stupid shit? Like, you know, is it you're like rainbows or something? Okay, just they work. Which Bitcoin video was it? I need to do a tutorial. I need to make a video that I can link to people. Say, if you don't think these work, go watch this video. But make the assumption that these lines work exceptionally well, even if you don't want to. With that, I'm going to pop this bad boy on. And the orange vertical lines are the halvening events. The projected one. This could be off by up to 7 days either way, but right? Because it depends on the block times, which only have an average based off the code, right? Which changes the mining difficulty, but per hash rate. But still, what we have here is, when does Litecoin bottom? 140 days before that halvening. 230 days before that halvening. Right now, we're 271 days away. That in and of itself, when I first looked at this, I said, nope, it's gonna go hit the next line down, right? It's gotta go lower. But because enough people with enough money have already front run the idea of this halvening, they did it a little too early. Look at this. You guys are early, but I think you might have succeeded with calling the bottom by buying the shit out of this. I think you have it's literally a 50-50 chance. And I'll show you why. Like, you will agree to some degree before I'm done. Just watch. When I first thought, okay, well, it's too far away. And given that the stock market is down for the first time ever in Bitcoin's 12, 13-year history, asterisk, it's the first time a down move wasn't met by a V-shaped correction back up to all-time highs, right? So it's the first bear market. Then being early, plus it's the first bear market, means it should actually be closer to this line when it bottoms because of the pressure down of the stock market, and Bitcoin and Litecoin trade with SPX and NASDAQ, right? Well, if you start zooming in on and we're going to zoom in a second. When you zoom in on how price behaves here, it looks like it will go sideways long enough to hit that next one down, and it's a double bottom. It might actually be more than 50% likely. I don't want to say that though, but I'm just going to stick with it's about 50%. So, for example, let's actually observe how it's moving here. So that's the math behind it. it is establishing, well, it broke its daily uptrend there. So it's in a daily no trend. It's got a higher high but a lower low, which means it's in a no trend. But regardless, it is traversing these origin lines, right? So usually when you see that happening, origin line to origin line, technically the dotted one is an origin line too, but it's less powerful. It's a, what do you call it? It's a, I don't know. I don't even know what a good name, a halfway point or whatever. But so when you do that, you often end up going up with maybe one wick down before you go up. If you can traverse this that long, I mean, you're typically done. So here, before this happened, did it get stuck between an origin line and write it nicely and uniformly here? No. You had a big bull trap on Bitcoin and it got sent down. It did not go sideways nice and pretty in here the same way. So fake outs actually, help create worse situations. Here, did it traverse between a couple origin lines nice and uniformly? Yes, it did. Where did it go? Up. This is all downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. Here we go. Did it traverse these origin lines nice and uniformly? Yes. Where did it go? Up. Did it have one more spike down? It did. But then what did it do? It went sideways again. Uniformly. Where did it go? Up. So what would have to happen in order for this sort of thing to happen? Bitcoin hit the next origin line down. And where would Litecoin go? Down to the bottom red line. But not for a while, because Bitcoin can't make new lows for at least 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. Well, without something new, knock on wood, I almost said nuclear. Well, that would do it too, but Russia could do it. Without a news-driven price action, it won't happen. But you always got to keep that in mind, that it could. All right, but it's just not probable. So if Bitcoin's not going to go down for an absolute bare minimum of 2 weeks, I need to zoom in. 4-hour chart. Let's call it 20 days. Get the spike down after 20 days. Where's that? But I mean, it could stop at this origin line here. So it spikes down when Bitcoin heads down. Yeah, that's a 33% move to that origin line. What's the price? Double bottom. This could have already bottomed. Even if it does hit this red one down, like let's say it does it in January and it goes below 40 bucks. Is that close enough to call it a double bottom? Within 9%? I don't know if there's a definition of double bottom, and when does the definition break down? Like, what are the parameters of a double bottom? Because clearly it's impossible to be exact. That can't be the definition. What is the definition? Within less than 10%? Okay, well, that's a double bottom. Still a double bottom. It could go a little bit lower, but it's not going to go much more. I think it has a strong chance. Like this, it looks like it's done. However, without people front running the halvening event in the associated time frame when the Litecoin bull market starts, they're front running it. I think created a self-fulfilling prophecy where I think they're going to be right, or they're close. They're very close to solidifying their gamble being correct. without that happening, let's see. So that was back in June. That's when Bitcoin hit 17.5. So people 6 months ago were front running the idea that Litecoin's bottom was in. They kept it strong enough the entire time. Where did Litecoin go to and bounce the fuck off of? Right off an origin line, obviously, as price almost always does on large caps and small caps. I think Matic's pump did not hit an origin line. So it doesn't always get every single move. But without this big move, let's say it was here right now, okay? So without people having front run it this whole time, Litecoin would be here right now. And that would mean it would very likely hit this one. And that's more than 10% below here. Therefore, yeah, it's not, that's almost 20%. That's not a double bottom. So this could be a self-fulfilling prophecy for Litecoin fans. And the Litecoin army is pretty big. And that that gives a lot of momentum for, or not momentum, their efforts, successful efforts here, alongside the fact that the halvening is going to happen, make it so that Litecoin is an extremely strong candidate, if not among the strongest candidates in all of crypto, to be a first mover with Bitcoin when it finally starts rocking and rolling in, I don't know, September 2023, something like that. The weekly 10 finally crossed above the weekly 21, somewhere around there, mid to late 2023. Litecoin would probably fly up, along with the handful of large caps that would move aggressively with Bitcoin at the very beginning of the bull market. It's less than 5% of all cryptos that do that are first movers with Bitcoin. The vast majority wait till Bitcoin breaks a weekly higher high, establishes a higher low, and then starts going up. Then a lot of them go. And so the positive consequences of their gamble could be double. Like it could, honestly, I think this was a good play by them, because I'm pretty sure that this was an orchestrated, not illegal, I'm not saying that, but this is probably an orchestrated effort to keep it up here. But I think their gamble's going to pay off, because not only did they make it so that probably was the bottom, right? Configuring a double bottom within 10%. That counts still, right? As a double bottom. Thus, that was the bottom. Not only did they accomplish that potentially, but they set it up that the coin that they protected and did this, it's going to move first. Which is always the best thing to have, right? Like, do you want your coin to pop off last in a bull market? No, it sucks waiting. While everything else is like green dildos in your face, slapping you around. It really sucks. We've all, like most of us have been there, right? You're holding your coin. When is it going to go? When is it going to go? And it never does. And then once you decide, screw it, I'm going to chase other green candles. You sell, and that's when it goes up, right? So that psychology, they just essentially got rid of that. Like, it's probably going to be a first mover. So their gamble was a calculated one, likely a successful one, and it's a double whammy. Like, it's badass. Litecoin Army did a good job. Too bad XRP Army didn't accomplish this. It's not even close to a low. So this might be among the best candidates in all of crypto outside of quant. Matic's a pretty strong candidate too for having a bottom in. But this is among the best candidates in all of crypto, alongside Quant and Matic, to have already bottomed. And I didn't, and I'm sometimes a overzealous bear, and I'm saying this. So hopefully I was able to show you in the charts all the logic behind it, rules of how price works with these lines, all that stuff, times and dates, percentages, lengths of time. Litecoin's not a bad bet in this bear market, I'm telling you. It is not a bad bet.